Toronto Public Health has confirmed a second case of monkeypox and is investigating 6 other cases. Monkeypox is a rare disease that comes from the same family of viruses that causes smallpox, but officials say it doesn't spread easily between people. Earlier this week, the World Health Organization's top monkeypox expert said she was skeptical that the virus would spark a global pandemic. Well, joining us now to give us the latest information on monkeypox in our weekly medical segment is Dr. Abhishek Raut, Medical Director at Appletree Medical Group. Dr. Raut, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Pleasure to be here.
So how serious of an infection is monkeypox? How does it affect the body both externally and internally?
Well, monkeypox was first discovered in 1958 when we had 2 outbreaks of a pox-like disease in a colony of monkeys kept for research, hence the name monkeypox. The first human case of monkeypox was really around 1970. So it really has been endemic for quite some time. The illness really begins with fever, headaches, muscle aches. You start getting back pains, swollen lymph nodes, chills, and exhaustion. And then about 3 days after all of this, you start developing a rash, often beginning on the face and moving to the different parts of the body. These rashes or lesions tend to become vesicles or pustules, and then eventually scabs, and then fall off there. Typically, it lasts about 2 to 4 weeks, and monkeypox has been shown to cause death in as many as 1 in 10 people who contract the disease.
Sounds like something no one wants, Dr. Raut. Now, it's also said that this condition has a longer incubation period. So how long does it take for symptoms to occur?
That's a good question. So the incubation period, which is the time from infection to symptoms for monkeypox, is actually quite long. We see that it is typically 7 to 14 days, but can range from 5 to 21 days. So almost 3 weeks there.
So how can people prevent spreading the disease if symptoms don't occur for up to 3 weeks?
Right, that is a challenge. Luckily, we've learned a few things from the COVID pandemic here. Most important lesson is to really focus on general prevention strategies, avoiding contact with potentially contaminated surfaces, reducing prolonged face-to-face contact with possibly infected individuals, and of course, good hand hygiene, washing your hands regularly.
All right, Dr. Raut, what do we know about reinfection after getting monkeypox? Is it like chickenpox that you cannot catch it again?
That's a good question. So though uncommon, you can theoretically get chickenpox more than once. The majority of people have had chickenpox, will be immune from it for the remainder of their lives, but there are a few cases there. Having said that, we're going to see something very similar to monkeypox and smallpox. Smallpox also had an infection where survivors had lifelong protection. So barring any significant genetic drift, I think we'll see it very similar with monkeypox, chickenpox, and smallpox, where there's a lifelong protection there.
All right, Dr. Raut. Now, I want to jump to some research I came across today. It indicated that older people who received smallpox vaccinations may have some sort of immunity to monkeypox. So can you tell us a little bit more about this?
That's right. So monkeypox comes from the same family as smallpox. And so what we're seeing is smallpox vaccines have been shown to be very effective in preventing monkeypox as well as treating it after exposure. Now, the world eradicated smallpox in 1980. Many countries do keep small stocks of the vaccine in case of emergencies. We know that this vaccine can be up to 85% effective in stopping a monkeypox infection. Canada stopped immunizing people against smallpox in 1972. And we don't know how much smallpox vaccine Canada has available, but what we do know is that Public Services and Procurement Canada has already put out a tender last month to purchase about 500,000 doses of a smallpox vaccine.
All right, and on that note, in terms of the government response, what do you think would be the best steps that officials can take in order to prevent this disease from becoming endemic?
Right. So I think we have to look at the lessons we've learned in previous epidemics and pandemics. Some of us might remember that it was 2003, 2004, where the United States saw 47 cases of monkeypox. During that time, there was really only animal to human transmission from prairie dogs sold as pets, and there were no deaths. But from that pandemic, we learned valuable lessons that we should use today. Number 1 was contact tracing all potential cases. Second was accurate lab testing of all potential contacts. And third was vaccination and treatment guidelines for at-risk populations right away.
All right, Dr. Raut, always great having you on Forum Daily. Thank you again for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we'll be shifting our focus to Ontario as Election Day looms for the current provincial election. We'll be speaking with Dr. Lydia Miljon, political science professor at the University of Windsor, to examine how Ontario voters have been responding to this election, as well as discuss each party's campaign platforms and whether they have addressed the concerns of Ontarians. And of course, after that, we'll have more news from around the world when we return. So stay tuned. We'll be right back here on Forum Daily.